Yeah. And two, I really liked how the dynamics of the characters changed. You know, Dinah in the beginning is only worried about money and where she can get the next drink, and then by the end of the play, she's helping Lexi, who has cancer. She's coming in and not making a big thing out of it. She's coming in and saying, "I'm going to take care of you," but not make, and of course had put a lifetime lease on the house, and nobody knew about it. And then you have Lexi, who doesn't come away from the mirror long enough to consider anybody else through 3/4 of the play, and then moves your character in. I mean, it flip-flopped, and in the way that it flip-flopped for you, you had this really rough life, and then your dementia turns out to be, if one can call it that, a blessing in disguise, because you may have had a horrible life, but you don't remember any of it.
That's right.
So as bad as that was, your character was redeemed through that affliction. And of course, Cherie, Francis's character, the one that always had it together, she comes in at the end walking with a cane, and she was always the one that was the most fit. And then Tina's character, Jerry Neal, who was the nun, boy, she discovered the saltier side of life, you know, when the other girls had already been through it all. So it was. I just thought the way that was interwoven and how it flip-flopped was very well done and very well executed by everybody. But
we appreciate that very much. I will say this: one of the turning points, I think, in that last scene, the hurricane scene, not the very last scene in the play, but the hurricane scene, when Lexi is so astute with Dinah and just tells her basically that she got everything. I mean, it's that whole toying back and forth with the
right.
And then she makes that comment about how astute it was, that everything meant something. The pearls did mean something to her, and how it affected her life, and I thought that just showed so much.
Yeah, Dinah
delivery.
Yeah, and Dinah thought it was that she completely shot over her head, but she really was dead on.
Yeah, very dead on.
And probably was dead on all through the years, because these 5 women could not be more adversely different, but they all made the trip every year for 50 years.
Yeah.
And you know, in fact or fiction, friendships like that are very hard to come by.
They are, and it just shows that when you're talking about adversities, that they're all there for each other, and the fact that each of them were able to give snippets out of everybody's life. Dinah knew Vern's ailment from her arm, and Frances, Cherie kept in touch with I'm getting their names all mixed up because I want to say Tina.
Right.
Dinah stayed in touch with Jerry Neal.
Right.
And, you know, everybody just had something. And Cherie and Dinah had their moments together talking about Randall. And so, I mean, it wasn't just the beach. They all had to be part of each other's lives for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
we got to see the culmination of what is being interwoven all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, a couple more things. It put me in mind of, particularly in the later scenes of the play, there is a film called The Wells of August that was kind of the last screen appearance for Betty Davis and Lillian Gish and Ann Sothern, and they used to come together on the beach as young girls. And now one of them has dementia, one of them is blind, and moved in and taking care of each other, and it put me in mind of that film. If you haven't seen it, check that out. I think it's available for free on YouTube, but that's a very touching film. It put me in mind of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but check it out online if you haven't. Then, as I said, Frances's emotion is really the way that she expresses emotion on the stage is something that really is always moving to me. But it was. Again, it was your character that had me laughing the hardest and relating to the most. You are, if I may be permitted to observe, shall we say, the least Southern of the group.
You are absolutely correct.
But you were playing the most Southern character. The lady from Pennsylvania given the speech about biscuits and why they are important, you almost got your own standing ovation on that.
It's again, Zach, it is well written. It's amazing to me how wonderful this is. I mean, I think Janice really picked a play that I know has been wanting to do. She's told me she had been wanting to do it for a while, and having read it with the rest of the cast, I now know why. I mean, it just is something.
But yes, but I'm sitting there thinking, because I know you, and I know that you're not from Wythe County, and I'm thinking, I bet most of these people don't realize how good she's playing this, because they don't know she's not from here. But I know it, and I know how you probably had to work for that Southern accent to come out.
Well, when you get around people,
yeah,
you just pick it right up from them.
Yeah,
that's what you do when you act, right?
I guess I am not an actor. I could never do what you all do. I think that's why I'm such an admirer and a fan of it. But do you live in Wytheville?
I do now.
You do, yeah. And
now I live in Wytheville, yes.
And you have for some time, right? So you
a little bit of time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long enough to where you can kind of pick up our laid back ways and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But again, the speech on biscuits. I mean, I totally got that, because I believe life is short, and within moderation, eat what you like, and biscuits are certainly nothing I would ever turn down. Homemade biscuits.
Well, it's a symbol.
Sure.
That's what it is to me, because
sure.
I know, even from where I grew up, the symbols that are up there, it's still the same thing. I grew up in a small town, and so I do know that feel, and I do know that feel that everybody knows everybody else's business kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But the idea behind that speech,
yeah.
Although biscuits is the symbol, they are the symbol, the idea that corporate America is just drowning out the moms and the pops and the, that whole thing.
And taking away these businesses that are our way of life, and I was thinking about that. Where do we have to go to shop? We all hate going to Walmart, but we have to go to Walmart because they own the world, and they're the only place that we can go and get things affordable. Everything else is too high, and you can't shop there, But it is not the wealthy and the socially affluent people that have made this country what it is. It is all of us that are in poverty and their parents and grandparents working their behinds off that has made they are the heart of America, and they are who are being overshadowed and forgotten today.
Yeah.
And so, believe me, I felt the heaviness and the full pulp of that speech.
Yeah, it's
because that's how I've lived. I mean, I've been here all of my 37 years, and I would never be anywhere else because I would not have the opportunity in my position. I would not have the opportunities that I have or the acceptance that I've had. I mean, the fact that I have a family, period, is astonishing to most people, including me some days. So it's that there was a lot in that speech that I could attach myself to personally, but particularly to your character, because everybody was trying to bring something special to the table overly, like with Lexi it was looks, with Dinah it was money, with Cherie it was good health and being fit, but you were just simply and unapologetically yourself. And that made you my favorite, because you could look at the others and it didn't matter. They might have changed their frame of reference, the other four, to fit what they wanted to say to the girls, but your frame of reference would have been the same if you'd been at home in the middle of all that, or whether you were at the beach with the rest of the girls. It would not have changed. And when you come in that clown suit, I think that should be the billboard for the play. The shot of you coming in that with that clown suit and that brace around your neck.
Yes. She was not about to miss her. I mean, it says a lot of what friendship is all about, doesn't it?
It does.
She wasn't about to miss it.
Yeah.
She just was not about to miss it.
And you see the look on the other four's faces, not to mention the audience, and there's got to be a story to this, and I just can't wait to see how it's going to come out. Yes. You've
seen other plays where I love to be the fool, I love to be the clown. In this one, she wore her heart out on her sleeve. She did not care what she looked like, what she sounded like. That was the best of her, and she wasn't about to miss her friends. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And despite many deep friendships that have been ruined for less, even though they had plenty of reason to kind of rip each other's heads off, at the end they all they all came together and said, you know, what is more important than what we're doing here?
Right.
And unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way in real life, and that's what is the sad part about it.
Not often, but sometimes when we are that lucky to have these kinds of friendships, it can happen. It can. I've had it happen. So I've been blessed in that regard.
Yeah, and that play in particular really makes you take a step back and look at your own blessings. Mm-hmm. Your speech about biscuits makes everybody realize how blessed we are to be here in this community, where people still, for the most part, care about each other and look out for each other.
Yes.
And you don't find that even if you go an hour down the interstate. You won't find that as much as you do here, and at least that's been my experience. And you know, the importance of friendship, because you know, when in the last scene when Dinah is gone, you feel the emptiness that they all feel. You feel that even, you know, Bernadette doesn't maybe even understand, but she feels the loss. You know, you can tell that she feels that there's a part of the group that, you know, and you don't, when people are gone, they're gone. Yes.
And it's such a, I think it's just such a touching. I love the fact that they use the implement at the end.
Right.
The shaker, the martini shaker.
Right.
I just think that is.
That's why I told Janice when I sent the review. I said, "I'm sorry for the spoiler alerts. It'll go out after the play is already run anyway." But that was the best way to analyze the play is just talk about the elements in it and how important they all are.
Yeah.
You know, because it was very, very real, very, very lighthearted, very true to life, and said all that to say, job well done to you and all of your colleagues.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really. I walked away with a lot more than when I came in, so I'm very grateful to have worked with everyone and gotten to know everyone and just had one heck of a good time getting closer and closer and closer. And I think that the way the play's written, the way that we gelled and felt about each other to be able to have a good performance the night that you came, just I think speaks volumes for me. I totally enjoyed this whole process. So,
well, thank you very, very much for taking this much time out of your evening to talk with me. I have enjoyed it more than I can say, and
I appreciate you asking me.
Well, I look forward to the next performance and wish you well with the rest of the performances on this run. And I don't know, I guess no definite plans for a fall production yet, or will there be a summer?
That I don't know.
Okay.
That is something you'd need to talk with Dr. Pryor about.
I see. Well, whenever it is, I will come back anytime she will have me. So.
All right. So, excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh my, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and it's a pleasure to know you and your colleagues, and to be able to receive the gift of your craft, because you certainly have a gift.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Certainly have a gift. Thank you very much, and Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Appreciate it.
And hope we can talk again.
All righty.
All right, you too.
Okay.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.